Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is going to be a quick RT read from an article that was posted by a brother in the chat. And this is entitled, Americans Face Unprecedented Food Insecurity. Another word for food insecurity is famine, and the end time prophecies speak about famines being in the last days. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this, get some precepts, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying through the Spirit. It says, a new study has found that growing numbers of people are growing hungry as government benefits are reduced and grocery prices soar. More and more Americans' families are going hungry and being forced to take such measures as watering down baby formula and skipping meals as rising grocery prices and cuts to public benefits push food insecurity to record levels. A new study has found the newly released survey by Propel, maker of food application that helps users manage their so-called food stamp benefits, found that a record high 44 respondents reported skipping meals in the last month, a 7% increase from the rate in April. The results show that food insecurity among users of the app was at unprecedented levels for the second straight month. So you pretty much get the gist. I ain't gonna drill it down. We'll read this last little piece here. It says nearly 1 in 3 survey respondents, 32%, told Propel that they relied on family members or friends to give them food in the past month. Nearly half said they couldn't afford the food they wanted, and 54% reported that they were forced to eat less. We can't afford to spend cash on food, one app user told the firm. Everything's too expensive. We go to food banks, but they don't supply enough of the essential things, such as milk, bread, eggs, and oil. So we go without those things until SNAP comes, which is the EBT. And this is a plague that the Lord is sending in Babylon, all right? I'm trying to see if I can pull up the 1611. If not, then I'll just go to the actual app. But a famine is judgment, all right? Our Lord Yahushua spoke about the last days. Apostle Paul, which he was influenced by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he spoke about in the last days there shall be perilous times. All right, and the famine is a part of that. So when we go here to Ezekiel, the 5th chapter, all right, this happened, before, but as it is written, the thing that have been is that which shall be, and there's no new thing under the sun. So things repeats itself. History repeats itself because the same spirits come back through the act of reincarnation, which reincarnation is biblical. So this is Ezekiel. He was a prophet during the Neo-Babylonian Empire. He was a Levite, and the Lord was giving him, the spirit so he can prophesy to the children of Israel. And, these prophecies in his book, all right, speaks about events that will happen in the last days. Ezekiel 37, Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel 35. So here, Ezekiel 5 and 15, it says, so shall it be a reproach and a taunt and instruction and astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, Yahweh, have spoken it. All right, because the Lord was judging Israel, and this is one of the ways in which he judged. This is one of the tools he used to bring forth judgment. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. And when you consider an arrow, it pierces you. It gets through you. You can't escape it. So this famine is going to be unavoidable, and it's going to cut deep. It says, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. So famine is sent to destroy and bring destruction. And I will increase the famine upon you, and I will break your staff of bread. And this article is an example of the staff of bread being broken. Things is becoming so expensive. All right, these food pantries, they're not having, the basic necessities. They don't want to spend money on food, so they got to skip meals and wait till they SNAP benefits be replenished. And then, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, Esau is behind it. All right. And we often speak about how Esau, he is set up to be the wicked. He is set up to bring a lot of the end time prophecies to pass, because at the end of the day, what Esau plans on doing is ushering in a new financial system. We often speak about the MOTB technology, the implantable technology, the body scan payment technology. With the swipe of a hand, you're able to purchase things. In order for Esau to get people to submit to this new way of buying and selling, he has to make the conditions in the earth very worse, to where people can, or people will want to freely go and stand in that line and get that implantable technology. But this is Revelation 4:6-4, Salakia. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. This is speaking about Esau, Edom, in a position of power. These Edomites was in the power seat during the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, and this second leg of Rome, which is the American Empire, with NATO and the EU being a part of it, and they collectively make up this rulership of the Edomites called the scarlet-colored beast, or the dragon. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And when you read John, the 3rd chapter, it says, a man cannot receive anything except it be given unto him from heaven. So the Lord is giving Esau power to do what? To take peace from the earth. And this is an example of that. All right, a lot of this stuff is orchestrated. As big as the planet Earth is, and as abundant, the creations that the Heavenly Father made, there's no way we should be running out of food. All right. The Lord has created everything in its perfection. Now, it is written in Isaiah 24 that the whole world is desolate, just because of the rulership of the Edomites and the policies that they push, and how they don't adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments in regards to ruling the land. Scriptures speak about a land Sabbath, which is a break from tooling and farming in particular areas. Esau doesn't do that, so the earth doesn't yield forth its increase. You do have that, but the Lord made this earth to where it's abundance, man. So we shouldn't be running out of food. But Esau, he's going to be painting the illusion that there's no food out here. All right. And then you had the recent events with a lot of these train derailments. They was catching on fire, a lot of oil spills. A lot of farmers were affected by the chemical spills that ran into their irrigation for the water systems in their farming areas. And then you had, these weather phenomenons, the heat advisories and the droughts and all that was destroying a lot of cattle. But the point is, Esau, Edom is going to be used as an instrument to bring a lot of these end time prophecies. Once again, this is Revelation 6-4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, going back to the blessing Esau received. So Esau's role, all right, or the spirit that the Lord put in Esau, is to take peace from the earth, and that they will, kill one another. And his blessing is a great sword, which the modern day sword ultimately is the ICBM missile technology, the intercontinental ballistic missile. But you can add in guns, weapons, and missile defense systems, so on and so forth, to that as well. So when we go back to Ezekiel 5, I just want to finish that up. I don't want to make this long. I just want to hit the points and just, push that vibration of the Lord bringing judgment. This is Ezekiel 5:16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. The staff represents your support system. If a staff or a cane is snatched away from an old person, then they're going to fall straight to the ground. So this famine is similar to a cane or a walking stick being snatched from an elderly person. All right. And without it, you won't be able to stand. You're going to fall. So that's what's coming, a fall. And the scriptures speak about pride go for destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So destruction and a fall is coming because of the people have been haughty and prideful. All right. You see, the American culture, Western culture pushes pride and rebellion. It pushes out the anti-Messiah spirit. You're against the teachings of Yahushua. Or you abhor the teachings of Yahushua. And there's a penalty for that. Proverbs 13. Let's get that. We're gonna come back to Ezekiel and finish it out. But let's get this in Proverbs 13, verse 13. It says, "Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed, and famine is used as destruction. But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded." Rewarded with what? During the times of evil, like it's saying in Isaiah 65, "My servant shall eat, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be hungry." So us that's in this ministry, we have nothing to worry about. This is Isaiah 65 and 12. "Therefore will I number you to the sword." All right, these are the people that rebelled against the truth. They're going to get numbered to the sword, numbered to the destruction. "And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter." Look at the language that we're reading here. Speaking about bowing down to the slaughter. And that's how it's going to be out here. "Because when I called, ye did not answer. And when I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not." And the Lord calls by way of the prophets. All right. "The eyes of the Lord are the angels, and the mouthpiece of the Lord is the prophets." And through the prophets, the Lord channels this everlasting gospel to be preached in the world. And if you reject it or you abhor it, then there's going to be destruction for you. Because as it says here, "When I call, you did not answer." The calling is happening out there on the highways and the byways and on these videos that we do. The speaking happens when, we bring out this information. Verse 13, "Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit." So there's going to be two different attitudes in these times that we're in. You're going to have those that's going to be well taken care of, that's going to rejoice, the servants of the Lord, those that repented and converted and worshiped the true power and called upon his name in sincerity and truth. Ultimately, those who were predestinated from the foundation of the earth to receive salvation in these times, and those who are going to be without. All right, there's no in between. There's no gray areas. There's no middle. That's what Babylon pushes out. There's a gray area, and that's confusion. You can be both. That's confusion. All right. I want to finish off in Ezekiel 5, and then that's pretty much it with the lesson. Ezekiel 5 and 17. "So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts." And let's not forget to mention the animals. All right. The animals, the Lord is going to be putting a spirit on these animals to bring judgment as well. It's been an uptick in dog attacks, different type of animal attacks. "And they shall bereave thee," meaning rob you of your children. "And pestilence and blood shall pass through thee," diseases. "And I will bring the sword upon thee," destruction. "I, Yahweh, have spoken it." So these are the words that the Lord is speaking. And, these things is going to be happening. But we that's in a ministry, we have nothing to worry about. All right. We have absolutely nothing to worry about. I'll leave it off with Psalm 34, because we went into the comfort in Isaiah 65 that the Lord's servants is going to be all right. Psalm 34 and 6, "This poor man cried," a man that's of the elect, "and Yahweh heard him." And when we say poor, we're speaking about the lowly, the humble, the contrite. We're not talking about somebody that's in the back of a 7-Eleven begging for old ass lettuce and in the front asking for quarters and dimes. We're not talking about that. The Lord said you're going to have the poor with you always, meaning like people that are destitute, living on the streets, you know. You won't have that always. But this isn't talking about a poor man in that regard. It's talking about a person that's, in the truth, that's serving the Lord. Because the Lord is only going to save those that are turned unto him in righteousness and sincerity. This poor man cried, and Yahweh heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of Yahweh encamp around about them that fear him and delivereth them. All right. So there's a hedge of protection for the men of the Lord. There's a safety net for the men of the Lord. And you got to believe that the Lord will take care of you during the times of evil. But in the midst of all this evil, all right, we're going to be seeing these different things. And we're going to know that this Esau that's pushing this stuff out. So, hey, Americans face unprecedented food insecurity. Stay on your watch, stay watching, and of course, stay praying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone and taught us the truth. Shalom, Washabath, Shalom.